see. My mother asked for a roasting. She asked for a roasting, which I don't know if any of you have seen a roast before. She does not want a roast. She does not want a roast. If this were going to be a roast, I would start with, let's talk about the divorce. Let's start with the childhood trauma. That's what you asked for. That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted.
Oh my God.
So we are not going to do a roast. We are not going to do, she could barely handle that. She could barely handle the first line of that roast. We are not going to do a roast, we are going to do toasting. A light braising, if you will. During my speech here, we'll play a little drinking game. So drink every time you hear me say a word that starts with the letter M or B. M or B, right? For our guest of honor. So my mother, as many of you know her, she is already drinking. As you know my mother, she is a mischievous beguiler. She is a maximizer of benefits. She is a master manipulator of God.
She dabbles.
And much like this balloon here, she's full of dreams, optimism, aspirations, and hot air. Okay, so most of you know what it's like to work with my mother. I am going to share a little bit of what it's like to be her son. As co-workers of her, you know that she gets the prime parking spot where she wants it. She gets the back door exit. She can enter and leave whenever she wants. She is also, as I mentioned before, a master manipulator, and she knows my father very well. And so a weekend visiting at home goes a little bit like this. Hi Mom, I'm coming home this weekend. I'm flying in on Friday. I was thinking we're gonna do dinner with my dad on Saturday. Oh, Saturday. Oh, okay. Yeah, just let me know. I want to work around you. I want to work around what you've got going on. Yeah, just tell me what you're going on. Okay, so we're just gonna do dinner with Dad on Saturday. Oh God. Saturday. Oh, sorry, it's nothing. It's just I got these tickets to the Alliance Theater. Spring Awakening is coming through. It's nothing. Okay, fine. Okay, we'll do, she knows my dad isn't making any plans, so as long as she makes plans, I will be there. So I say, okay, we'll do the Alliance Theater. We'll do dinner with Dad beforehand, and then we'll go to the Alliance Theater. Oh, but the show is in Atlanta. The show's in Atlanta, so you're gonna do dinner all the way up there and then drive back down? That doesn't seem to make sense. I just don't know how that would make sense. Like you're going from up there to down here. It's just a lot of driving. Okay, so we'll do Saturday with you. And then Friday we'll see Dad. But I'm picking you up from the airport on Friday. Does that make any sense? So that is my mother. So she's convinced all of you that she's been working for 20 years. We know half of that is about sick time, some sick time, where she's traveling, she's visiting either me in LA or Marcus in New York at the time. Now he's in LA as well. She's having a retirement party, but she's not actually retiring. She is going into part-time, so this is also a fake out. And she is maximizing her benefits there as well.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't take it anymore.
No, it's still my time. It's still my time. It's still my time. It's still my time. But in closing, I'll say I absolutely love my mother. I am so privileged to be able to share her with so many other students and people who have been able to see her as a life coach and as a theater teacher to help them realize their own authenticity, their own path in life. She is a maker of beauty. She is a magic believer. She has the most mischievous of bravery. I don't see you guys drinking. These are all M&B words. And she is marvelously brilliant. So cheers to my mom, Mary Beth. Now, she still doesn't get to talk. Who would like to grab this microphone? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's very on brand how prepared my brother was and how I will speak from the heart. It's very on brand for us. So anyways, that was awesome. My brother, give it up for Alex, honestly. He's so creative, he's so himself. He's the best older brother ever. But he gets that, you know, love from my mom, obviously. And she does not want a roasting at all. He's so on brand. She wants the compliments and the love and all that.
Okay.
You know, just maybe a little, yeah, you know. Like, they're like, who are we kidding? So anyways, if you've been around her long enough, you've probably heard her refer to herself as the wealthiest woman in the world because of us, her crown jewels. And to be honest, you know, she's certainly one of ours. And I know just being here tonight, listening to, you know, meeting all the parents, the students, everybody that's gotten to work with her, the impact that she's had on their lives. I referred to her earlier tonight as my human cheat code because, you know, your mom is just such a great sounding board for any large decision you have to make, any life trouble you're going through, anything like that. You know, I have my mom who's in my corner 100%. And so when you have that, somebody so well-rounded, so in touch with their emotions, encouraging me to express myself, it allows me to figure out who I am faster. And so our relationship has gone through a lot over the years. I was a very defiant child, thought I knew best, as maybe a lot of kids in this room. And we butt heads a lot growing up, but we were texting the other day just about how I'm thankful our relationship has grown into more of a friendship. And it hasn't been easy always, but the mutual respect between what I've been through, what she knows I've been through, you know, what she's been through, understanding one another on such a deeper level is really beautiful. And it's, you know, I'm just very, very lucky, like, to be honest. And so, you know, I'm very fortunate to be speaking on her behalf. This is a very rare opportunity that you get to speak about your parent. So I'm very lucky to be here. You know, with my brother, with my brother-in-law, with my girlfriend Kelsey. Her first time in Atlanta, so everybody show her. We all came out all the way from California, so thank you for coming, Kelsey, honestly. But anyways, let's just have a great night tonight. And Mom, I mean, I love you to death. And you deserve all the love in this room, and then some, the impact that you've had on everybody's life, the ripple effect of the rock dropping on the pond with my mom goes on so far, because the students, how many people you all impact, you know, and you know, it's just awesome. So, love you, Mom. Cheers to MB.
Don't give it to her, give it to me.
No, I think we got.
There's more people in for
I also didn't know this was a roast, so I probably would have been more brutal if I did know. Thanks for the memo. First off, I think we should all celebrate that you fucking made it. Can we get a little round of applause? Oh, I'm Zach Solomon. Hi, class of 2010, I'm afraid. 2010. How you didn't retire simply after a single IB theater class with me and Elizabeth nailing is really beyond me. I think I'd be lying if you'd be lying if you said you didn't consider it. Yeah, just a little bit. You know your drama teacher isn't fucking around when Glee premieres on TV and she identifies with Sue Sylvester. That was your favorite character. For me, looking back on high school is sort of like a fever dream. It was a time a lot of us were just starting to figure out who we are and who we would begin to grow into. And sure, I studied history and science and math, but the moments and lessons that are crystal clear to me are those that were spent and learned in Miss V's black box and on her stage. And yes, that's right, I said her stage, which she so graciously yet begrudgingly donated to the maniac of a Japanese teacher I had, Mormon sensei, each year. And one year, during the festival, the Japanese festival, Florence Heller and I built a Zen garden meditation room in the boys' dressing room, covering the floor with a tarp and about 20 pounds of sand. I don't think V found the premise particularly relaxing. And needless to say, the fan favorite activity did not make a comeback at the next year's festival. That was wild that I did that. Enough about my shenanigans. The reason that we are all here is to celebrate this woman and her tremendous contribution to our lives and the lives of all the kids who walked through her doors over the past years. I really can't imagine what it must be like to spend so much time with teenagers during some of the most pivotal times of their life for 4 years, only to watch them walk out the doors and into new lives and repeat that process again and again and again. You know, there's something particularly sacred about the bond Miss B has with her students because for the most part, and let's not talk about Drama 1 classes, they're there because they want to be. They choose to step into her classroom and onto her stage because of a shared passion for an art form and whether they realize it or not, the sense of community that comes along with it, fostered by a woman who takes that most important role very seriously. What evidence more do you need than looking at all the faces of the people whose lives Miss Vanderhook has been pivotal in shaping? I can only speak for myself, really, but my truth is that I would probably not be standing here today with you guys celebrating if it weren't for her. So, and I'm not just talking about the way in which she took me under her wing as a lost, highly ADHD closet case when I was in her class. I remember we had to write reviews of our experience in the musical Grease as an assignment, which I chose to write about how dating senior Christy Jones and my feelings for her enhanced my performance as Kinnicky, which I'm sure she had a wonderful laugh about. Have to owe my fashion sensibilities to Miss V as well. As someone who used to show up in school in my pajama pants, one day Miss V had had enough and told me I needed to stop looking like a slob and care about how I dressed.
I didn't say it that way.
It was
She said it that way.
pretty similar.
Okay, Sylvester.
And I believe this was shortly after I'd spilled a gallon of paint in the tiny room between the black box and the chorus room, or the room between the rooms, if you guys know. If you know, you know. And I was frantically trying to clean it up when she found me, and I think she sent me home. But her support has never wavered over the years. She has been there for me through some of the most painful moments of my adulthood. For everything she's given of herself, I and all of us are indebted. V has always said she's ready for her celebrity life to begin, and while I might not be her child, if and when that red carpet calls, you know you will be walking that step. So here's to V and her next chapter of her life and the freedom that she deserves more than anyone I know.
Another one who flew in from LA to do this. Amazing. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Zach.
Anyone else? All right. Is there anyone else who would like to? Is there anyone else who would like to
I wrote a little something. It's always gays. It's always the gays. We always have something to say. So shut up and listen. Hello, everyone. Some of you may know me. My name's Hunter. I am a former student, current student, and future student of MB's. But I have a feeling that everyone in this room is too. OMB. Present day, I have a variety of nicknames for her. But when it all started, she was simply Miss V. It was simple and catchy for her students to call her by. And obviously, she wasn't going to let her ex-husband's last name steal any of her spot. I was a freshman in high school, sitting in my first period Drama 1 class. I had never been to a public school before, and I was quite nervous as to what I should expect. I soon noticed that my drama teacher was enthusiastic and hilarious, while simultaneously not taking shit from anybody. But there was someone else I noticed too, and that was the senior student aide who helped facilitate our freshman class, sweet Jenny Mosley. Yes, we know Jenny Mosley. Miss V and Jenny Mosley seemed like the best of friends, sitting behind her coveted desk together, chatting and laughing and obviously gossiping about the rest of the students. I knew immediately that it was my mission to be the next Jenny Mosley. But what I didn't know was that unlike Jenny Mosley, my relationship with MB would stretch beyond the physical, emotional, and spiritual confines of a desk in a school. And that the real world would become our classroom, and that I might even have a thing or two to teach her as well. But while I was in high school, she was my teacher. She was my favorite teacher, and she knew it. Throughout high school, I slowly transitioned from being on stage to being behind the scenes, and to eventually just being MB's right-hand man, or as she liked to call me, her go-to guy. I was the one she yelled for when she needed help making the program for the show or something like that. I'll never forget. One day she was walking down the stairs of the Riverwood parking lot and unfortunately dropped an entire can of paint that spilled all over the concrete stairs. I don't think I was even in her class in that moment, but she frantically ran up to the building, kicked down the door of the school, and screamed, "Hunter!" into the abyss of the hallways. Naturally, I came up. What I thought then was that she was just too busy to be cleaning up the paint. But what I know now is that she just didn't want any blood on her hands. It's okay, MB. I'd still take the fall for you today, baby. Eventually, I did in fact become the senior aide in the freshman drama class. I got to sit behind the desk and laugh and chat, just like I had always dreamed of. But like all freshmen, they were not the sharpest tools in the shed. And at one point, a few bad apples of this freshman class decided to make fun of me, their senior aide, for being gay. A gay boy in the drama department. Shocking. But remember, at this point, I'm still a student, and MB is still my teacher, and my sexuality was not a topic that we had discussed. I was embarrassed to tell her that I was being made fun of by some freshmen, and I was unsure about potentially opening up this conversation with my teacher. But I ended up telling her what was going on. She quickly assembled the class, jumped on the biggest soapbox she could find, and went on a tirade. The drama lesson for the day was canceled, and instead she made the entire class participate in an activity she called Label Jars, Not People. Aww. After a lifetime of being made fun of by other kids, this was the first time I felt like a teacher had truly heard me, had felt my pain, and not only protected me, but celebrated me. She made it clear that there was no room for hate or discrimination, not just in her class, but in the world.
When I went off to college, MB and I of course stayed in touch. She was my unofficial therapist as I navigated college life growing into an adult. We would make plans to see each other when I was back home in Atlanta, but of course those somehow always centered around me helping her set up her new laptop. Or going to the Verizon store to help her purchase a new iPhone. The sales manager would say, "And would you like to add an extra 2 years of Apple Care protection?" And B would turn to me with a look of utter confusion and pain. And I would calmly shake my head and whisper, "No." So that she could confidently whip her head around to the Verizon guy and let him know that he's not gonna pull a fast one on her. Right, hun? Yes, sissy. Finally, I graduated college and moved back to Atlanta, and like most college grads, I looked myself in the mirror and asked myself what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And like most people, with a few drama skills and some hardened negotiation tactics learned from the Verizon store, I became a real estate agent. Because that's all you need, right? Well, at 22 years old, when most of my friends and myself were still living in our family's spare bedroom and not buying or selling houses, life was pretty tough. I had no income, no experience, and generally just didn't know what the hell was going on. But MB was ready to leave Alpharetta and start a new chapter of her life. So what did she do? She called her go-to guy. She hired me as her realtor and let me list her house. This was the very first listing I ever had. And I was petrified. Trusting an inexperienced kid was a limb that she did not have to go out on, but she did. She believed in me. She trusted me. And just like in her classroom, she gave me an opportunity to learn and to grow. Luckily, I got the job done, and MB was able to make her next moves in life. Fast forward to today, and I have an extremely successful career where I am frequently ranked in the top percentage of realtors in Atlanta. And I can say for certain, there is no way I would be here if it wasn't for MB. Like I said earlier, I am a former student, a current student, and a future student of hers. And I feel so lucky to know her. It was destiny that she was my first teacher in my very first period of my freshman year class. She has been in my corner ever since, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So tonight, we celebrate the impact that she's had on all of our lives. We celebrate the impact that she's had on the world by shaping so many students that have come through her doors. We celebrate the zest and the chutzpah that she's injected into the Riverwood Theater Department. And admire the lives that have been changed, not just because of who she is, but because of her dedication to a job that has affected so many. Being a teacher is one of the hardest jobs I can imagine. And I often tell people, you couldn't pay me the same money I already make to be a teacher. But Mary Beth will tell you, she is the richest person in the world. And it's because of all of us, sir. But Mary Beth, we are here to tell you that we are the richest people in the world. And it's only because we have you. We love you. Congratulations.
I told my children I wasn't going to do this because I did this already. Get off the stage!
Roaster!
But I do love a stage. So I'm going to say it again. In case anybody missed it, so this is my reprise. My name is Beth Seibert, and this is my co-parent, Mary Beth Vanderhook. She and I had 13 very robust children together, which is what we call the shows that we have done in combination. And I know that Amy Hughley, where are you, babe? There she is. Amy Hughley and Molly Montalto are here, who are contributing co-parents as well. But, you know, my stage, my story. So, skip right over that. So, 2012, I had a freshman at Riverwood, and I was interested in being a part of the things that she was interested in, which were music and theater. And so I joined PAVA, which is the supporting organization. I was the treasurer, and come about January, I was in the office and I was actually, I don't know, just making an offhanded comment about how I had been to GHP for dance back in, like, you know, 1937. And Mary Beth said, "You're a dancer?" And I said, "Well, I was." She goes, "Oh, how would you like to come and help me with this show that I'm doing?" I said, "Well, I'll give it a go." That was Spelling Bee version 1 in 2012, yes, which was, yeah, a tremendous experience for anybody who participated in or saw it. It was fabulous. And that is how our relationship was born. And we have always said that it is very much like having a baby. There is a very brief moment of exhilaration, and which is the conception. And then there's 9 months of strenuous pain and suffering that results in really difficult labor, but then a fantastic, bouncing, beautiful baby that you look on and you cry and you say, "God, we did that. That's just, you know, it's fantastic." And you forget how much work and pain and suffering it was, and a year later you do it again. And he did that 13 times. And you say to yourself, how stupid are you? And I have to say, from my perspective, that if it weren't so fabulously enriching and fun for me to work with Mary Beth, who is by far and away the most lovely, generous, giving, collaborative person ever, who works without ego, without saying, "This is my show and you do this my way," because she let me do the most ridiculous stuff across the years, where she never said to me, "That's really off the rails. You need to, like, take a step back from that." I'll give you some examples. My favorite examples. There was one show where we danced with teacups. There was one where we did a whole dance with just blankets, a whole dance with just seaweed. We did this most recent show where we did an entire number where there was no dancing at all. It was just posing. And I said, "It'll be great." And it took more time to get those kids to do no dancing than it took to teach them all of the steps. Oh my God. And there was one show where we had both an orgy and a striptease. And yeah, we did both in the same show. And if you missed it, that was Pippin. You're sorry you weren't there, because it was something to behold. So I would just like to say, there is no greater joy than co-parenting with such a warm, generous, positive, caring, giving human being than Mary Beth Vanderhook. And there may be no way to duplicate that experience. And I bow in her presence.
Don't roast me. Ron roast me.
I'll do a little bit of a roast, I think.
Yes! Come on, somebody else!
First of
Somebody
all,
else.
I'm impressed with the young people, the former Riverwood students now prepared. They came because I'm not. So we're doing something right, the teachers that are here, that sending those people out to be prepared. But there are many things I can say. I'm Ron Marstall, and I've worked with, when did you come to Riverwood?
0405.
In 05. So I've been there about 4 years.
Yeah.
And so we grew up together kind of through the Riverwood chain of events and administrators and administrators and administrators and administrators. So through the course of that, we developed often a Friday afternoon happy hour routine that we went to. And there are a few other people that would join us, and sometimes it was just Mary Beth and I. And I will tell you, in her defense, she stuck with one drink the whole time. I maybe had a few more than I needed, but she was religious about that. She behaved for the most part, but that did not hold her back on the things she talked about. Over the years, and my wife wasn't a teacher, but she would go to teacher parties, and any teacher knows this. The poor spouses that are here, it's like, do they not talk about anything else about their students, the teachers, the administrators? So we had some of those good conversations over a drink or two, and it would come to it always, we should write a book, we should write a book, we should write a book. And we haven't read that book yet, but maybe in retirement we will do that. But then we started talking about, well, what would the name of that book be? And it's how to make teaching a win-win situation as long as I get what I want. So she perfected that, because it's like, or how not to screw everybody else and still get what I want. So there are many incarnations of that. So we talked about that over the years. And through that we bonded and really had a really nice relationship. She's a great friend or whatever. But I must say, or whatever, but I have to tell the story that we've been waiting on. Is that all right?
Yeah. I know.
So at the faculty meeting, Jessica said, can you say something, video camera, send it to the faculty, and whatever. There was, it's one of those things, there's so many things, but then when you're doing it, you're like, unless you're prepared like you guys, I'm like, what are they all? And Amy knows, I just saw her. So this was early on.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was, and I was a department chair.
Second year.
Department chair down the road, but Becky Owen was a department chair prior to me, and one time we were at an in-service meeting, we all went out to lunch, and there were many phases through Mary Beth's career, but her early phase was she belonged to Ravinia and would go work out in the morning and then come into work, because she's religious, we know about her working out and staying fit and stuff. So she would drive in, but she had it worked out. She'd get up early. She wouldn't shower, I think, because she's going to go work out, and she would just shower at Ravinia. So sometimes she just had her stuff in a bag, and she would come in her pajamas to Ravinia.
In my pajamas.
Yeah, in your pajamas and work
To the
out,
club.
whatever. So we were at this meeting I guess one time, and Amy Hughley was there. She forgot to pack her underwear for school. And her clothes, I
And my
think.
clothes, so I
And
wore my pajamas.
Yeah. So she works out and everything and realizes, oh my God. So she went to work that day in her pajamas without underwear. So at the little faculty thing, one word, Jessica says, oh, by the way, give one word that describes Mary Beth. And I said, the word I'll leave you with is commando. And I said, I will not share that story if Mary Beth wants to share the story, but this looks like an environment where that's really easy to share. So I didn't want to share that. There were many, many stories through the years, and that's as good as I'll get. But over that course of time, we've become very good friends. And again, shared the ups and downs and the trials and tribulations and whatever. So I will always treasure that. So here's Mary Beth.
Hey, Molly. Yes.
I'm Molly. I have anxiety, but I joined the Riverwood family in 2020, which was a very dark time. Very dark time. And it took me a minute to crack and be, she did not want to be my friend, but I said, you will be my best of friends. And now we're best friends, so it worked out really well. I will be very quick, but Mary Beth will tell you that she enjoys being with young people. And I don't know how you could possibly teach if you didn't enjoy young people. But she also tells me sometimes she has a fear of getting older and she wants to stay young and hip. But what Mary Beth does not realize is that many of us young people just want to be Mary Beth when we grow up.
We can't let the commando story go without mentioning that for Christmas that year, or maybe it was your birthday, I felt that she needed a new hoodie in her life since she did show up to school and taught all day with no underwear and a sweatshirt and sweatpants, and she did it so well. But the end of that story is that for Christmas that year, she got a beautiful white zip-up hoodie with zip-up pockets. And in those zip-up pockets, there were backup undergarments that she and that stayed in the office just for emergencies. But the other, this is a roast, so I'm gonna end with one final roast that I can remember, because those are probably top two. Number one was underwear. Number two is something that actually did not take place at Riverwood International Charter School in my book. And so number two, I think, is this. Summer 2006, Tybee Island, Georgia.
You're gonna tell that story? Spill it.
We decided to take a couple of days, myself, Mary Beth, my husband Brad, her boyfriend Scott, her boyfriend at the time Scott. So we all went to Tybee Island, got a condo on the beach, beautiful. We split up all of the snacks and the cooking in advance. And of course, if you know her, she does not consider herself a foodie, which means she does not make cooking a regular habit at all. So she said, I'll bring the fruit salad. Which is, of course, the number one food group in the Mary Beth family, food pyramid. So we get to Tybee Island, we unload, we're sitting back, kicking back, we're like, it's snack time. And so she says, I'm just going to give everyone a warning about the fruit salad. Said, a warning. So she proceeds to tell us the story of how when she was making said beautiful fruit salad in the kitchen, she was making the fruit salad and chopping everything, not quite to the geometric perfection shapes that Ron Marshall would make for a fruit salad, but very close, putting it all together. Somehow in the journey from the kitchen counter to the refrigerator in the glass bowl, in that short journey, the glass bowl fell out of her hand, filled with fruit salad, shattered all over the kitchen tile floor. But no, it could be salvaged. So she looks at the beautiful fruit salad, she's like, well, there's no glass shards in there. And I'm sure most of it didn't even touch the floor. So she picks it all up, she puts it in a colander. She puts the colander in the sink. She rinses it with orange juice because that certainly will sanitize and take any potential glass shards out of the salad. And then she puts it in a plastic container, takes it to Tybee Island. So she said, eat at your own risk, but I don't care, I'm eating this fruit salad. So my husband decides to be the guinea pig. Yes. And he gets a bowl of fruit salad. And he takes a bite, and we're all just waiting, watching. Bite number 3. Oh, yeah. Shard. And I think one of the best parts of the story is that Scott took the entire plastic bowl of fruit salad, rushes into the bathroom, flushes it down the toilet, and says, because if I just put it in the trash, she's still gonna eat it. All I gotta say, here's the sad part, not really the sad part, the poignant part. No, not even. The part from the heart is that all of you are talking about how much she changed your life and how you wouldn't be here without her, but it's true for me too. So thank you for the many years of who you are every day in my life. And I'm done.
Should I finally give it to her, you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, she wants it so badly, doesn't she? Isn't it so painful to watch? Oh, oh, oh! Give it up for my mom, baby!
Okay. Tonight is not about me. But a little bit is, but most of it, seriously. I had the vision for this party very early in the school year when I knew this was it. And I reflected all year. You know I'm a reflector. And what did I want? What did I want to do? And what I wanted to do was invite people who contributed to the success of my career, of Riverwood Theater, and all the shows that I did, which were about 50 total, I think, something like that. Yes. But everyone in this room contributed. You were either in it, or you were my friend that I called. Jill is here, Susan is here, my friends who were just my friends and listened to all the stories. You were my student, you were my family, my nephew, my sister's here, back there. You were a parent, a booster club member, a teacher, a former teacher, still a teacher, a former student, still a student, a yoga friend, an administrator, a staff member, a mom of a staff member, you know, a set builder, JG. You know, everybody in this room, just look around. It wasn't my program, it was ours. And I wanted to give back. I wanted to do a party and just say thank you. Seriously, it is about me, but it's about you. And I really, really wanted to bring my Papa Mamas back. So, Susan Pogue, come up, please. I know, you don't have to speak.
I don't like to get in front of
I know you don't. You don't have to speak.
Okay, thank you.
But I want to start with Susan, and then I want all of us, the Papa Mamas, to join us. When I came to Riverwood, there was no booster club. And Susan, we were just talking earlier, I was left with $156. Yes, and Susan Pogue stepped up to do the booster club, to create it, to fundraise, to make people buy tickets.
Sell tickets.
Sell tickets.
We did it all.
You did.
Yeah.
You did, Susan, and I so wanted you to come back so that I could thank you for doing that, because you started this, you really helped start this with the fundraising. First class, she was a freshman, my first year. She was my first graduating senior. And I want now the rest of the Papa Mamas to come up. Cindy and Jan and Kay and Beth. Who else is here? My Papa, yes, Felicia. Any more Papa Mamas? So these women.
Brittany,
yes. So stand in order. You passed it. These are Booster Club presidents.
We follow corrections.
But they followed, oh, of course you did. That's why we got along. We got along so well, they did what I told them to do. But your children, some are here, the daughters, the sons, so remarkable. Your support in the many, many, many shows. And Susan passed it, and then she passed the torch, and then she passed the torch to these beautiful women who, in the end, I left in the account $20,000 in borrowed. And 12,000 in the drama account. So it's because you believed in the vision, and you believed in raising the production values. You believed in selling the tickets. Susan had to talk me into selling tickets. Did you?
And separating the money.
And separating the money.
By night and by concessions.
Right.
She's like, just dump all the money. And I'm like, oh, no. I want to know how we do every night. Concessions and tickets.
You see why I needed this, right? Are you getting it now? So anyway, thank you, Drama Mamas. I bow to them. Some staff here from Riverwood. I have, yes, Tammy, and Sinitra, stand up. You are my staff representative. A former administrator. I know. Why? Because I love you with all my heart. And you were so good to me. And Tammy, thank you. Riverwood teachers up here, please. Or stand. Yes. Janet, Ron, Amy, Chris, Hale. Just stand for a minute. Yes, do like I say. You don't have to say it. Okay, friends in the building, retirees. Look how young Amy looks against all these old people. Look at you. Okay. Jonathan Griffith, the sets. Come on now. Playing the vocals and chorus. Janet, you coming to my door after you saw Leather Shop? I was brand new, and you went on and on and on.
Oh, I did that.
Yes, you did. Thank you. Yes. That's right. Okay, current, Molly, you should have gone up there because you're former, but current. Come with the current group. Current teachers, Riverwood. My current principal beauty. Look at this. Look at this. Art department in English. Notice no math or science. No math or science. Band director. Oh no, they're not good. Heather, Jen, Molly, Kristen, thank you for being my friends in the building. More than that, we'll stay in touch. Yes, please. Yes. Thank you for your lovely words. Former students, you heard from some that there's more than just Zach and Hunter. There's more than just the gays. Come on. Okay, this is the fun part. Look at this! Look at this! So, right, this is the hard our Mary Hollis, former student. Yes. Oh, the ham. Mary Hollis. Actually, no, the ham is quite legendary. Yes. Mary Hollis, Jonathan and Gray's daughter. Mary Hollis made props for the show, made a ham. One ham, but it lasted. And it was not one, but two miracle workers. Yes. So, as you can see, I mean, what a great job, right? Such beauty, such talent, brains, heart, soul. That's why they were invited. Can you just say your class? Just go down. Can I see if I remember? Yes. Okay, 15. A little bit later, so 18? 20. Oh yeah, you were 20.
I know, feel bad.
28. 10.
24.
10, 12, 11. Wow. 21. Oh, the youngest here, the only one underage. That was a criteria, by the way, everyone except Cecile got in because of Brittany. She was Papa president. She Cecile is just last year. So yeah, 23. With this beauty, 21. 7, 6. So you win the prize. Stay in touch. You'll get invited to the next party. Thank you. Okay. Do we have time for a little dancing? Can we dance? Yeah. Just a little, because you know I love to dance, and my nephew's here, the DJ. Yeah, so, thank you all. Let's have fun. We have